Love this podcast? Support this show through the Acast supporter feature. It's up to you how much you give, and there's no regular commitment. Just click the link in the show description to support now.
Are you interested in angels, demons, ghosts, spirits, and monsters? Are you curious about their origins, influence, and how to protect against the unknown? If so, then welcome to Southern Demonology, the podcast that explores all of this and more.
To everyone else, this is a desk. But to you, it's a launch pad. Your starting block. This ain't a desk. This is opportunity.
Switch to Boost Mobile and get the Coach Prime Moto G 5G on us at your local Boost retailer. Moto G 5G on us when you switch with ID verification and new Unlimited Plus or Unlimited Premium plan activation. Taxes extra. All prices, fees, features, functionality, and offers are subject to change without notice. See participating dealers for details.
Well, I wish I could say it differently, but this has been a rather disappointing year for horror movies. I held out hope until after October, but even the one movie that I had the highest hopes to redeem everything fell quite short. And I'm not saying that it was a bad movie, it just did not live up to the hype. Hello all, and welcome back to Bite, the mini episodes of the Southern Demonology podcast that focuses on horror movies. Please like, subscribe, engage, etc. in order to help the podcast out, as I would thoroughly appreciate. I am, of course, your friendly neighborhood ancient demonologist, JJ. The movie that I am referring to is a recently released one called Beezel. I have seen more reviews on this particular film from horror creators than I could possibly shake a stick at. And I've heard everything from, it's the scariest movie I've ever seen, to, oh, it's definitely the best horror movie of the year. And even though I know better than to fall for the hype, I saw so many of these reviews that I had my hopes up against my better judgment, and that is my mistake. The movie has an interesting premise to it. Do you know that one house in your neighborhood or town that everyone knows just has a witch in it? That's essentially the premise. However, in this film, those are not just superstitions. There really is a witch in this particular house. And the interesting part about this film is that this thing, either through coercion or the free will of the owners, essentially adopts it and begin to take care of it. I won't go into any other details because I don't want to spoil the movie, but I was really hoping for something more. Is the movie scary? Perhaps, if you've not watched many horror films, then yes, it can be. It does have a few unsettling moments to it. However, if you are a horror connoisseur, then this movie has nothing that you haven't seen before. With that said, this film does combine a few different items, which does make it more intriguing than other films that I've seen this year. It explores, very loosely mind you, the psychological effects that befall the individuals that come to inhabit the house. Further, it almost makes use of one of the central gimmicks of Terrified, in that the witch can materialize or dematerialize based upon the perspective that people happen to be taken. However, that last item is only briefly touched upon in one particular scene, and nothing more is done with it, unfortunately. The one thing that I do commend the director of this particular film for is showcasing the reward that anyone who gets involved with these types of pacts or bargains with evil entities ultimately receive. And that is nothing. Nothing at all. The only thing that is offered is illusion. And to see these people fall for them and revel in them is perhaps the most mind-bending part of this particular movie. I'll also add that it does give the movie an excuse for why people do not flee from the house when they start to notice something going wrong. They are either down there through job requirements or, in the last particular incident, through the mind-altering effects of the witch. I do have to say, though, that is a very flimsy excuse, because I had to severely repress any types of thoughts around why don't they just leave over and over again. In short, Beezel is definitely worth a watch. It doesn't do anything new, and unfortunately it leaves a lot of interesting ideas unexplored. If it had actually dug into those, then it would have been a much more fascinating movie. Then again, I will admit that my expectations for this movie were entirely too high. Still, it does nothing particularly unique, and it has a lot of moments where it could have done just that. So if anything, I just see a lot of wasted potential that could have really made Beezel stand out on its own. I hope you all had a fantastic Halloween. I know I did, as I got to see about 150 kids come through in an hour's time. And just seeing the joy of it all, of everyone in different costumes, it just really touched my heart. I'm just terribly sad that the month of October has come to an end. Thank you for listening to Southern Demonology. Find us online at southerndemonology.com, which offers links to all of our social media and episodes. Southern Demonology is solely owned, produced, and edited by myself, and the intro and outro music are composed by me as well. If you have a moment, please rate, like, and share this podcast, as it is the best way to help support my work. As always, I am JJ, and it has been a pleasure to speak to you today.
To everyone else, this is a task. But to you, this is opportunity.
Switch to Boost Mobile and get the Coach Prime Moto G5G for $29.99 at boostmobile.com. The Boost Mobile network, together with our roaming partners, covers 99% of the U.S. population. Moto G5G for $29.99 when you switch with a new Unlimited Plus or Unlimited Premium plan activation. Online only. Taxes extra. All prices, fees, features, functionality, and offers are subject to change without notice. Visit boostmobile.com for details.